free, she throwing that ass. I'm up first for coming in last. Went to the bank, happy alive. Nigga fuck love, rather by rap. Nigga fuck love, rather by rap.
All righty. This is actually episode 34. So I know like last time, which was a little bit ago. Sorry everybody. We've been a little shit's happened. We've been moving, we've been doing stuff. So it's been a little bit since we've uploaded another video. But we're fucking back, baby. Woodcrest certified coming back at you in the actual episode 34. Like I said, the last one, I was all hyped, like, oh, it's the Giannis episode. Well, this is awkward because it was actually fucking episode number 33. So shout out to Kareem. But this one is 34. And it's been a while since we last spoke, guys. I mean, last time we spoke, David didn't have a Hooters hat. So that's
I
love
had
seeing
it. It was just in the closet.
Yeah. How'd you fucking get that
Happy
hat?
Pride
Like,
Month.
why do you have that hat? I don't understand.
It's a happy
Uh,
birthday. I'm dead.
It was a gift from. Well, it wasn't a gift. Somebody had let my son hold it while we was at the beach, and
What?
because I went to the beach with a group of coworkers, and one of them brought a woman friend, and the woman friend was an employee at Hooters. And it was really sunny out. We drenched them in sunscreen and stuff, but the sun was still bugging him, so he held the hat, and it's just been with us ever since. And I need a haircut, so
So
let's
he's
do this
sold.
bad boy on. No, it was given. It was given.
That's what's up.
His
Do you have
name
any-
is Coach.
Yeah, do you have any pictures of your kid in the Hooters hat? Because I feel like that'd be hilariously adorable.
I do. You gotta let me find that thing.
No, we could do that after, but I definitely want to see that because I think it would be hilarious. Anyway, so getting on to some topics. I mean, fuck. Last time we spoke, the Bucks and the Heat were still in the playoffs. So that's changed. That's not a thing anymore. So real quick, I mean, just for a quick recap, I wholeheartedly, like I said off camera, I wholeheartedly believe that if the Bucks had fucking Chris Middleton, we would be in the finals right now because the Heat are ass and we would have mollywopped their bitch ass too. Um, but yeah, I mean, Giannis is amazing. He's the best player in the world, and I don't want to hear anything about it.
I don't know, man. I feel like Bam would have gave Giannis problems.
That's fine.
I mean, the thing about that is just Bam would primarily would have been guarding Brook, and it would have been PJ on Giannis.
Yeah. And then Brooke gives Bam buckets.
Brook, I would disagree with that. Brook has not really been himself this year.
Bro, last year he averaged like 15 and 8 against y'all in the playoffs.
Dude, literally everyone's Bryn Forbes shitted on Miami last year. Bro.
Yeah,
like
that
it was
too.
an anomaly. Like it.
Oh, that was
Everybody on
anomaly.
Miami sucked, and everybody on Milwaukee did really well. Like it would not have been the same this year.
I don't agree. I mean, like you guys had, it was just Jimmy Butler. Like y'all. didn't
Jimmy
have
Butler
nothing else.
sucked last year too.
Yeah, I know he was at. Well, this year he didn't suck. I'm just saying that.
I mean, he
like
averaged 35 against the the defensive player of the year. Like he would have shit on anybody Milwaukee would have thrown at him too. Pat Connaughton.
Dude, Marcus Smart is such a fucking bro. Listen, I don't believe in that man's defensive player of the year, dog. I don't. I'm sorry.
It's a
I do
fluke,
not.
bro.
This man, he's defensive player of the
You
year.
really want to get into this
He's
again,
the-
bro? We
He's
should
the
move
best
on.
actor in the fucking league, bro. Him, fucking Grant Williams, all them best actors in the fucking league. They're just literally throwing their bodies around, flopping like no
Kyle
other.
Lowry is about that
Dude,
life
Kyle,
too.
Kyle Lowry too. That's the crazy thing is Kyle Lowry is a supreme flopper, and Marcus Smart by far surpasses him, and it's so frustrating. This man, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's an ass defender because by far he's a very good defender. But I think Drew Holiday is a better defender than him. I think fucking if this guy didn't get hurt, it probably would have been Robert Williams III who could have probably got it. And because he got hurt, they were like, "Oh, we got to give this someone on the Celtics," and then defaulted to Marcus Smart. And this man's a paid actor. I fucking hate it. That's all the Celtics did against the Bucks is flop. Any single time Giannis touched the ball, their defense was just a fucking hit the ground, and that's it. And it was so frustrating.
I mean, it worked.
I got that off my chest. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know what Rook's talking about. Marcus Smart has been fantastic these playoffs, but whatever.
Yeah, bitch. Bro, so am I tripping thinking he's just a supreme actor?
Yeah, you're tripping.
He's definitely a top 5 flopper for sure.
Yeah,
probably top 3.
Chris,
no, but like when Wade was in the league, he was a top 5 flopper too. You know,
on defense.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Wade. Yeah, Wade fucking taught LeBron how to flop.
LeBron did flop a lot more once he got to Miami.
Wade was a hell of a flopper, but he was still a top 5 defender. He was probably the best defender at his position at the time.
Wade didn't. I'm not. All right, dude.
Good rebuttal.
Yeah, he sound like
I'm gonna leave it there, dude, man.
Hey Chris, if you tell me to fuck off, you tell me to fuck off. It is what it is. But can you just scoot up a little bit more because like your camera unfocuses and refocuses?
He's an unlocked player, bro.
So then it's not even because like I'm saying, oh, we want to see you. It's more so because you get out of focus and then it blurs you. So then literally we just see your blur, not even your like figure anymore.
You're just one big pixel.
Yeah.
I like the aesthetics, Chris. Keep it going, bro.
I like it, man. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do.
It's called feng shui. I'm not fucking with it.
Feng shui.
Fuck off, bro.
What? Come on.
You hating on the feng shui, bro? Like,
yeah, you're right. My bad. Chris, do you have like any design elements in your apartment?
What the fuck?
You feel like Chris' apartment is a couch, a TV, and a bed.
What are we doing?
I don't know how to answer that question.
It's not HGTV, bro.
Yeah, I don't know why he did that. That was an asshole move, but I'm fucking with it.
I was just curious, man.
Even if he did, we wouldn't be able to see it, bro. Like
Well, it was just a yes or no question. You could have been like, yeah, I got some shit. I'm like, all right, cool.
I mean, my last apartment ain't had shit. This one, I'm really getting that shit together for real. But
we're never getting invited to Chris's place because of people like Anthony.
What I do, I'm curious. I care, you know? Damn.
You're just like you got
you nosy.
Yeah, you got the energy of like a 50-year-old Spanish lady, dog.
If Rook came to your house, bro, he'll come with like a painting of fruit or some shit for you to hang it up on the wall.
Bro, no, look, here's the thing, because I don't do decorating or no shit like that either, right? In my old apartment.
You got a whole display of shoes behind you.
Well, yeah, that's like the only decorations I had in my old place. And now, you know, obviously I live with my girl, and so there's decorations and all that type of shit now. Yeah. Oh, that's the big move, everyone. That's what when I was talking about moving, I was moving in with my girl. Love her.
I didn't even know you like girls.
Yep. Surprise, surprise. Here we are.
I thought you and David was together.
Crazy as hell.
Fuck. Anyway. All right. So is that a wrap on Bucks and Miami?
Yeah, man. I don't want to talk about basketball. It was fucking bullshit.
Yeah, Miami sucks. All right. Anyway, so in the time that we've I guess been on a hiatus, there's been some crazy shit in the fucking world, bro. Like crazy. Like there's been a lot of mass shootings within the last really few weeks, and I know the two in particularly, and we want to talk about the one in Buffalo and then the one out in Texas and shit. But yo, you know how much of a sick fuck you got to be to live stream yourself going out to kill people? Like that shit's insane to me.
That's crazy. Yeah, he did that because another mass shooter, I think it was like in the UK or something like that, somewhere overseas, was like the inspiration behind that.
Oh, really?
And he saw somebody else live stream a mass shooting, so he did that too.
That's
we
nice.
We live in a wild time. People are filming suicides and all this crazy stuff now. And it's just like, or even a while ago, I don't know if y'all remember when the girl was drunk driving, I think in Cali, and killed her sister. Before that happened, she was like recording the shit. And then after the accident, she was like, I don't give a fuck, whatever. And she had like her sister body, like she was holding her sister recording this shit instead of calling the police. Like,
oh, wow.
Yeah, like motherfuckers, I don't know. I feel like lately, the past couple of weeks, shit been weird, bro. Like,
yeah.
Just, I go to work and go home. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's
Like,
just scary out there.
Yeah.
It's like you just never know. Literally, you never know.
You could just be at the wrong place at the wrong time. Like these people in Buffalo was grocery shopping.
Fucking Walmart, dog. Just trying to get food to fucking eat.
It wasn't a Walmart, but yeah, it was a
grocery my bad. There's a store, but regardless, like these people are just trying to get some fucking food to eat, and then this crazy fuck just walks up in there, bro, and start taking people's lives. Like, it's nuts to me, bro.
I mean, that story reminded me of the dude that drove to, what was it, El Paso, Texas? He was on the same shit. He was like, I know it's a bunch of Spanish folks that live in that community. So I drove, I think it was over 100 or 200 miles, just like dude in Buffalo. I drove all the way over there just to kill minorities. Like this not new, you know, like. And the common characteristic of like all these mass shootings is the weapon of choice, the AR-15. It's like, is there ever going to come a time where people are, you know, these politicians or these people in control are going to be like, maybe we should like do something about this particular gun that keeps getting used for these heinous atrocities? Like,
it was a time where they did a ban on it.
I saw something about that.
Yeah,
it was like 94 to 04 or something like that.
Then when the ban lifted, I think mass shootings went up like 38%, some crazy shit. But I think that percentage is even higher now because they just had another mass shooting, like literally, like
at the hospital in Oklahoma.
No, then it's another one after that. I think either yesterday or today.
What?
Where 3 got killed and 14 or 12 to 14 got injured. I just sent that in the group chat.
Damn.
Just crazy.
Yeah, that's sick, right? That's like literally 4 back to back, right?
Yeah, I think there was like 5 on Memorial Day.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I seen the fucking governor of Colorado was talking about, or senator from Colorado was saying that you know, AR-15s are the preferred weapon of choice for like killing raccoons that are like hunting people's farms or some wild shit like that. I was like, dog, you need an AR for a raccoon? Like, what are you talking about? What are we talking about here?
Pistol will work.
Yeah, like what are we talking about here, bro? I see someone comment that's like, I could think of 70 things in Home Depot that would help for that too.
A shovel will work. No,
Yes.
you gotta get a little too close. I'm
that bitch like.
I'm like, what? Why? I don't understand why you need that shit. Like, I cannot comprehend the need for that type of gun to be so easily accessible and be in rotation. I don't get it.
The problem is, I work with a lot of people. Like, I don't think we should ban all guns, but we should restrict certain guns. The problem
Absolutely,
is,
yeah.
You have people like, it's a lot of people. I didn't realize how much Republicans I work with in both jobs. This is crazy, but it's a lot of them that be like, if we start to restrict the guns, which I'm like, that's not true where I'm going anyways. If we start to restrict it, then the government's gonna start to take away everything. And I'm like, no, nigga, they just had the ban on assault rifles. While you was alive, motherfucker, you ain't say nothing about it. Like,
they think it's a slippery slope, bro, but it's not like that. Like my thing is like, if we can make it like, I think the majority of gun owners and gun users are responsible. I think the majority of them are. So it's like, if we make it a little bit harder or more strenuous for these responsible gun owners to purchase a gun legally in order to make it harder for someone who shouldn't have a gun purchase one, like, isn't that worth it? Like, if you're responsible with your gun, you're going to be a law-abiding citizen, you're going to follow rules and regulations, whatever. You know, like, what is the dilemma or the issue? Or
like, why do you care about
pushback on
like steps?
Right. You know, like, if you're going to do things the right way by the book, like, you're going to be able to purchase your gun. You know, it's in order to keep people who shouldn't have guns from purchasing them.
The rebuttal is that the people who are going to do fucked up shit are going to get their hands on guns anyways. That's the rebuttal.
But it's way harder.
The dude in the the dude in Uvalde, like if it was a little harder to get an AR-15, if you didn't have to be 18, if you had to be 21, like he doesn't get it, right? Because he purchased it legally.
All these mass shootings, all the major ones have been legal gun purchases.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like the dude in Texas, Uvalde, bought that AR-15 the day he turned 18. So like one step could be raising the age to 21 or 20. You gotta be 25 to rent a car. Like why not make it 25?
Yeah, you gonna be 18 to get a gun. It's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you take that one step, and again, I feel like the majority of gun owners and users, whatever, like they're responsible about it. So it's like they had to wait a few more years to legally purchase their gun. If those rules have been in place, then the Uvalde shit don't happen, right? At least not with an AR-15. Because, maybe the rules are probably different for handguns and shotguns and shit, but I feel like that's one small step that could be taken to, help protect citizens. Because that's what guns are for, right? Allegedly to protect yourselves. The Second Amendment will tell you to protect yourself against a militia, right? A well-regulated militia. Like, I don't know.
What's crazy is what Chris just said, that the mass shootings is not coming from, because the rebuttal is criminals going to have access to guns regardless, but the criminals ain't the ones that's doing the mass shootings.
Right.
It's the law-abiding citizens that's really doing it. So it's almost like,
but that's what I'm saying though. Like
sick in a way, right?
The citizens, like if the laws were different, then they wouldn't be law-abiding citizens. Or if the laws were different, they wouldn't have been able to purchase the gun in the first place. Like the dude in Buffalo too. I think he was like 19 years old, and he also legally purchased the AR-15 that he used. If the age is raised to legally purchase an AR-15, then he's not able to legally purchase it. And if he's underage with an AR-15, then he's in trouble if he gets caught with that anyway. Because I understand the rebuttal of, even if you make laws tougher on guns, the bad guys will still be able to get guns. It's like, I understand that, but if you can maybe take away a few crazy people from purchasing those guns legally, then you can potentially save, some lives.
You will save, because them people, the one with the supermarket is sick because they label him as a domestic terrorist now because he killing a group of people that you know nothing about. One, like, and then the other one was even more sick because you killing kids. Like, that's the part I didn't understand. It's like, if older people, you getting bullied, you went to high school, that makes a little bit more sense, even though it don't make no sense. But kids, like, it's like, what the fuck did the kids do to you?
Little babies. And then another rebuttal of the Second Amendment fanatics is Chris has already called this bullshit, but the good guys with guns versus bad guys with guns theory, like, those are the words that came out of Ted Cruz's mouth at the NRA meeting that happened, the weekend after the Uvalde mass shooting. And it's like, dude, there were cops on scene like while the shit was happening.
And the mom went in before the cops did.
The dude that ended up taking out the shooter was an off-duty Border Patrol agent.
Yeah.
So it's like, and again, I've mentioned the story one time. I think it happened in Chicago about a nightclub security guard who took out an armed, dangerous man who was shooting in the club, and then cops pulled up and killed the fucking security guard.
Yeah.
So it's like this whole good guys with guns versus bad guys with guns theory, like it don't really look that good because. And then another thing on top of that is like, allegedly these policemen were scared to like infiltrate the building because they could tell what type of gun the dude had, and they were outgunned. They were, they all they had was pistols.
Yeah, because most cops only have pistols. The cops don't have ARs unless you want to SWAT in a special unit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, on top of the
why
good
should a
guys
bystander have that
standing
shit,
by, like the cops that these people love and respect and want to honor, like they're outgunned. So I mean,
by civilians.
By civilians legally, like the dude legally purchased the weapon.
Yeah.
So it's like if you make adjustments to the laws, I think you could potentially save lives. And it's like, again, it's not to like take away guns because there's way too. First off, like there's way too many fucking guns in this country to take them all away. Like That's the first thing. Like, it's just not gonna happen. And then secondly, like again, like if you're a responsible, law-abiding gun owner, if you have to take a few extra steps, like you're still gonna be able to legally purchase your gun and do whatever you want to do with it responsibly and legally. It's all in order to keep. I feel like my intention would be to keep them guns that are wrong people's hands.
Absolutely. So Tommy was saying in the group chat, shout out Tommy, bitch. I just said it because he never comes back to the podcast, and it's always funny to see if like he ever catches us when we talk shit, and he never does.
Podcast, fucking bitch.
What?
I said because he doesn't watch the podcast.
Oh yeah. Hey, shout out to Danny though. Danny watches. Danny hit me up separately the other day and commented on some shit on about the podcast and whatnot. So shout out Danny.
Yeah, he texted me and asked me, or he said, you told him that I was going through something and he was moving. And he was like, am I straight with him or whatever? So I know he watched this shit for real. Tommy is a bitch.
That's funny. That's good content right there. But anyway, back to the Uvalde shooting. So what's the deal with like the cops just like were they following protocol or they just weren't? They're just like, I'm not going in there. Like what was the story there about them not going in?
They were scared. This nigga had an AR and they got a pistol.
Yeah, Tommy was saying that there's a bunch of like crazy shit that's coming out in reports or whatever that I haven't gotten into, but I don't know if y'all had any more insight on it.
No, the gist of it, you got bulletproof vests, but a lot of people don't realize that shit hurt. Like, anyways, and then the bulletproof vest only covers, like, it's not even, it covers like that. Like, then it comes down, which is the vital organs. So your heart, but your neck can still get hit, your arms, your legs, all that. So pistol versus an AR, the AR won't win every time. Like, half the time, the pistol only carries, 10 rounds? Like, so what the fuck you gonna do against something that's carrying 30 rounds? Or if you add a drum to it or whatever else these psychos is adding, like, you're not gonna win, even if it's multiple cops half the time. Because with an AR, you gotta, even in the army, they just taught us to spray. You don't even gotta aim. You literally just spray. Like, even though like 20-something% of the bullets is gonna hit, 9 out of 10 times you're gonna hit something. Like, so with a pistol, you literally aiming. You're not spraying with a pistol.
I mean, but then you look at the one guy that ran up in there and he took him down.
Yeah, but you don't know.
I'm trying to understand because I don't know the gist of it. So it's like, yeah, the cops didn't want to go in because they're outgunned, but then the one guy won.
Remember the last episode when you guys were like, if I hear somebody yelling, I won't go into the building?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're cops, so that's like different. They're supposed to go into the buildings.
They're humans before cops. So.
Yeah, like, yeah.
You know what?
They're using the same train of logic though. Like they don't know what's in there. They don't know how to assess the situation. So they don't go in.
I mean, they know somebody was in there shooting.
Yeah, but like, yeah, no, for sure. But like, all right, so just like you said, right? If somebody's yelling in there, they need help, and then you go in there and then you get shot. Now it's 2 people in trouble. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with like, that's what you're trained. Like, I'm sure Peterson was trained the same way in the military because I was. Like, if somebody gets shot, if you're in the field and somebody gets like shot down, you don't go out there to help them.
No.
Because now there's 2 fucking casualties. What you got to do is either take cover and assess the situation or wait for an all clear or whatever. And that's basically where the police in that situation were doing. They're like, okay, we can't assess the situation properly, so we gotta, do what we gotta do.
Yeah, I was a combat medic, so it's called cover and conceal. So you see, now this is seen. You see somebody get shot. The first thing you do is not run out there because now you got 2 casualties. Or because they literally show you a video of somebody in Iraq. This dude crossing the street, gets shot by a sniper, boom, go down, right? He's still alive, freaking out. 2 people ran out, and I guess he had somebody else with him, boom, boom. Now that's 3 casualties. Me, as a medic, I can't, there's 1 medic per casualty. There's not 1 medic per 20 people that goes down. So it's 1-to-1 ratio every time. So in order not to have more casualties, you have to assess the situation before you even make that make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, because now you just made the situation worse for everybody that's around you.
So you're saying like the cops aren't wrong for not going in?
Nah, they wrong as fuck in my opinion.
Yeah, so one of the craziest things I read was that some of those cops on scene went into the school and grabbed their own children.
Yeah.
And pulled them out.
But that goes back to what I was saying on the last episode that we had. At the end of the day, humans gonna be humans. Self-preservation is what everybody is fighting for, no matter how morally sound, morally correct, and all this shit people want to sound like. People want to preserve themselves before anything. And that's probably why people see the world as fucked up as it is in a way, even though we're living in like the safest times ever in the history of mankind. But people want to preserve themselves at the end of the day, regardless of what job that they're in. You know what I'm saying? Like cop, military, firefighters, like there's stories of firefighters not going into burning buildings because they're like, man, the people in there already burnt. Fuck it. Like, I'm not gonna go in there. Like, and it's really their job to go in there, search and rescue, then pull them out. Like,
well, I understand like to a certain on the fires, like, you know, there's a certain point where that shit's just fucking is chalk. Like you can't get in there. I mean, I don't know. Like I was saying, I was talking to, I don't remember who I was talking to, but essentially, it's like I understand the self-preservation and like, you know, Chris, you bring up the conversation where it's like, you know, if you're screaming, I'm not going into the building. But like I said, my job is what I do is call the cops because they're the people that are supposed to respond to that shit and to be the help and be there.
Their job is to keep peace, to, you know, bring justice, whatever. It's not to be suicidal.
No, and I'm not, and that's not what I'm asking.
Isn't it also to respond to situations like this though?
No, for sure. And again, I don't know all the details. When it comes to these mass shootings, for the sake of like my spiritual health, I can't spend too much time with them. You know what I mean? Like I can't sit there and read about them. But from what I understand, these guys were out there waiting because they wanted to be able to tactically respond. You know what I mean? Like they didn't want to just run in there and the guys, like you run in there and then the guy's in, you know, a good position and then he takes out 5 of your guys. Like you don't want that.
facts.
That's not part of your job. Like you're saying, well, as a cop, that's what you're supposed to do, but it's really not.
Well, not to like just, I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying that they should have just ran up in there, right? Again, that's not what I'm saying. Like I understand the concept of having to be tactical, have a plan in place, know where he's at, so that way you could go in to try to take him down, right? I understand that. But then this guy just runs up in there, he takes him down on his own. Like I don't know exactly what he did. I don't know how much assessing he did, but he ran up in there and did the shit.
Yeah, but he probably, you comparing, there's 2 things to that. He probably didn't give a fuck. He like, his moral compass was like, nah, I need to get these kids out of here. But his moral compass can't be for everybody that's there, if that makes sense. Like, because you're human before your job. Like,
it reminds me of what these guys on are always saying. Like a bad shot becomes a good shot when it goes in, right? And it's the same concept. Like he could have easily ran in there and got his brains blown out.
facts.
And then we would have been like, why the fuck did he run in there? You know what I mean?
But we have an answer to that question though. Why did he run in there? To take out the shooter.
Yeah, but you can't help anybody if you're dead.
Facts.
I mean, we will respect the attempt. These police officers didn't even make an attempt.
What I don't like about the whole police situation, and I've said it to a cop to his face because of my little situation recently. When motherfucker unarmed, y'all gone home. Y'all ready? We seen it on TV plenty of times. Like, y'all gun the fuck home, but then now, like, where's all that energy?
Like, yeah, how you gunshot when the bad guy is in there busting shots?
I done watch y'all shoot a homeless nigga in the back 30 times. That they had no fucking weapon. Like, and granted, it's not the same cops for every situation, but that's the shit that be fucking me up sometimes. Like, I don't see y'all gun down kids, unarmed homeless people, motherfuckers is drugged up, women, like, but then you got an assailant with a gun and you can't pull the trigger type shit. Like,
I think that's an incredibly unfair assessment.
Why?
Because most of the time when they shoot somebody, it's because they think they are dangerous.
So the guy with the gun is not?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like
this
No,
the dude brought it was.
It's the same concept. It's all self-preservation. Like probably the best example is the kid in California who was jumping over fences. I don't know if you guys heard about it.
No.
So basically the kid was like hopping fences. I don't remember what he was doing. But essentially they got a call. It was dark. He ran and then he turned around and he had a cell phone in his hand.
But that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
They lit his ass up because they couldn't tell it was a cell phone. Same thing with the kid in Chicago. He was like 11 years old or maybe younger than that. And I think he was on the spectrum and he had a toy gun.
No, you talking about that was in Ohio. You talking about Tamir Rice?
Yeah, Tamir, and he pointed it at the gun or at the cop, and they lit his ass up, even though it was a toy gun. In all of these situations, they shoot somebody who they believe is a threat because at the end of the day, they want to survive.
The homeless man running away from you is a threat.
I don't know about
Tamir
that.
Rice pointed a gun at the police.
The dude with the loose cigarettes selling loose cigarettes on the side is a threat.
No, they didn't shoot him.
You talking about Eric Garner?
Yeah, they chokehold him.
Like I'm saying, like deadly force. They didn't think they weren't trying to kill him.
So
what do you do?
I'm saying like they're using deadly force because they're trying to not die. They didn't go into the building because they didn't want to die. It's the same concept.
We could agree to disagree.
But that's still like an inappropriate response to the situation, though, right?
What?
All right, so you got the examples that you just brought up is these dudes like they react to not die, and that's deadly force. Yeah. But when there's an ongoing and active shooter, their response is
to react to not die.
To not die because they don't want to die. Right.
And then it falls on the hands of a so what happens if it's not for the off-duty border patrol agent? What happens? He just goes classroom to classroom.
Yeah,
because the cops are scared.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I don't know if they were waiting for backup. I don't know what, because again, I don't read about this stuff. I hear about it from y'all from social media. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. And then I try to like, because I can't do it, man. It's too heavy.
Allegedly, the dude was, I couldn't really watch the news and shit, but allegedly this dude was in there letting it rip for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, for a minute.
That's just great.
And I don't ever condemn people to shit, like ever, because I always say give people grace, but I would do burn in hell, like gasoline drug. Kids, like what fucked me up for real, and everybody that know me for real know kids is like my weakness. Like kids, like that ain't do nothing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like fucking kids, that shit is crazy. Like
babies, bro.
When I first saw that shit, I'm not gonna lie to you, I cried. Like
I was fucked up. Yeah, me too.
I think that's the point though. I think these are people who are deeply deranged. They're they're lonely and suicidal.
But
And
kids,
they feel like in order to get some, like what they want is a response. This is the most extreme version of the N-word in the YouTube comments. They just want a response, and at least that's what I think. They know that if they go into a school and they shoot shit up, that's somehow gonna get them like notarized. I don't know.
Yeah, they'll be infamous
and dead though.
and dead.
That's what serial killers get off on, is just the fact that like they do this shit, and so that way they could get famous and people just know their name. In general, they get off on this shit.
I think there's a couple different angles, and again, this guy's dead, so we won't know. But I think they live with like some sort of something, some demons, dog, and they get off on inflicting those demons onto other people. And like this is like the best way to do it is by going after fucking innocent children. Not just that, but then you go into a school and it's defenseless. You can do the maximum amount of damage before somebody can stop you. If you're a deranged lunatic and you want to take as many people with you, a school is a perfect target.
Join the army, nigga. They need you out there. Take your chance.
These niggas don't want to serve their country, dog. They want to fucking
burn that shit down,
bro. Yeah.
Oh no, and I know shooting grown-ups fucked up, black people fucked up, like Hispanics fucked up, white people fucked up. Yeah, but kids, like that's the shit
that's like the worst of the worst.
And what's even terrible about that, the kids that died, condolences to all their family. The kids that lived are traumatized for you
life.
just changed the whole trajectory of their whole life. Some of these kids could have became doctors, lawyers, astronauts, all this stuff. And that could literally stop them from doing all that because they just don't care about life anymore.
I mean, living with depression, fucking PTSD, dog, like getting into drugs type shit, because that goes hand in hand with it. Like, yo, that's the sad part too, Pete. Yeah, that shit, like, sometimes it's not talked about as much, but the kids that live, bro.
Yeah, because even with because being a medic, you deal with people that have behavioral health issues. You got to take them to psych wards and all that. Mm-hmm. And I used to always tell people, you commit suicide, you killed yourself, and that's traumatic in itself. But a lot of people that deal with this shit is the people that live after the fact. Your mother, your brother. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not to sound selfish in a way, because these individuals is going through things, right? But the people around you have to suffer even longer because they have to live with the things that you did. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I agree with you. So I remember that reminds me of a story. One time I used to work in the airport, and apparently MCO was like a hot spot for suicides. But I don't know if y'all remember the story. This TSA agent, you know, there's a hotel in the airport. Dude was on the clock, went all the way up to the top, and he dropped down. Now I remember talking to my coworkers. I was like, yo, that's so fucked up. Like, to do that shit in an airport. Like, yes, I understand the person that got to that level. Like, the things that they were dealing with are extreme, but it's like, there's a kid in the security line who just watched a dude plop down, and now he got to live that shit for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, like it sucks and it's bad and it's unfortunate you're going through what you're going through, but like in your demise and your exit from this world, like you put some shit onto other people unnecessarily. It's like I mean, I probably sound like a dick when I say that, but it's like that's fucked up, bro.
It don't, because I get where you're coming from. Because even in the most fucked up environments I grew up in, a lot of things that people used to say, leave the babies out of you. Like, because give them a fighting chance, allow them to live and grow into whatever they need to grow into. You know what I'm saying? Like the kids, man, like, I don't know. That's all I can say because I literally don't have no words for it. Like,
that shit's fucking sad, bro. It's depressing. Cause like, I mean, the kids are doing what they're supposed to do, dog. You know, you're just in school. Your parents are sending you to school, expecting you to be safe, just trying to get a fucking education, dog. And then some asshole gets in there. and does that shit. That's nuts. It's nuts. But it's the world that we're in right now until some shit happens. Shout out to Steve Kerr after that. Yo, he gave a fucking moving like statement right after that shit happened too. I fuck with Steve Kerr. He knows what's up.
Steve Kerr too.
It's crazy
It's
that
like-
it's crazy that not just the fact that these guys are doing this shit repeatedly, but then this shit happens and the first response.
The response don't change, right? That's what you're getting at.
Yeah, like from a lot of people from a certain demographic, their first response is to be like, well, it's not the gun's fault. We gotta protect, like their priority is to protect their right to hold guns. And
Yeah.
it's like, but like there's kids dying, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like, do they see it as like that's worth it? Like, because there's no way like they see that and it's like, well, at least I can still have my gun.
But it's not, I almost think they see it as worth it. It's just, it goes back to this self-preservation thing, like, and peeling back the onion. A lot of people don't give a fuck as long as it's not happening to the people close to them or themselves.
Yeah, I think you're 1,000% right, Peterson.
Yeah,
I think that's exactly what it is.
I feel like I'm right because, and I hate to make this shit a race thing, but it's like with America, a lot of people could give a fuck about what's happening to black people because it's not happening to them. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to leave the house and get put in a chokehold. You don't have to leave the house and get beat up because or killed because you're walking through a neighborhood. You can walk through a neighborhood safely without ever having to give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
your kids go to fucking private schools. A lot of these politicians, their kids go to schools where it's almost a slim to none chance that this shit is going to happen in their schools. This is happening in public schools.
Yeah, fuck those politicians though. Like the people who I work with, their kids aren't in private schools.
Yeah.
But it's like what you said, like they never experienced this thing. This is something that only exists on the internet and on TV.
For them.
So for right now, this is just another point. Whenever they see a mass shooting, like we're like, damn, like people in hospitals, people in a grocery store, kids are getting shot for no reason. There's a certain demographic of people who automatically think, oh, they're gonna try to take away my guns. Like that's the first thing they think before they think of the people who lost their lives, you know?
Yeah, because they don't have to think about the people that lose their lives. Like, it don't matter.
My train of thought is it ain't really gonna be no change until something happens to one of these politicians. And that's like a dark thought, but it's like they're not moved enough or affected enough by seeing the stuff in Buffalo or even Parkland, Florida. Like that's an area with money. So it's not like this shit, rich or poor, like as long as it's not happening to these lawmakers and these decision makers, like they're essentially their thoughts and prayers are gonna get sent out, and then that's it.
I'll tell you
And
what.
when you was mentioning, sorry, one more thing, P, when you was mentioning the, basically the Black experience, like something that these other people, people that look like me and Anthony, like we don't got to worry about fitting a description and then getting run down on, like, and that's just like you said, like that's not something that these people go through, so empathy like isn't really their thing. Like that's not really a theme in this country, in the history of it, or currently. I mean, maybe it's on the rise or whatever, but again, it's like it's not enough to like move the needle to progress towards different legislation.
Yeah.
And it's really fucked up. And quite frankly, it pisses me off because, like Chris said, it's a certain demographic, and Soulja Boy said it best.
No,
I'm saying not even that's enough. Like there was a politician who got fucking shot at a baseball game.
But it wasn't his kids at while they were at school.
All right, so let's say his kids did get shot. Let's say that this was some Republican senator from
Ted Cruz, Greg Abbott, the dude's from Texas.
Whatever. And he starts speaking out on gun violence. Like Liz Cheney was one of the most popular, most well-renowned Republican pundits. And as soon as she was like, hey, Donald Trump is tripping, for telling people that the election was rigged, she got outed.
Yeah.
She got outed. So like, not even that's enough. Let's say a Republican loses their child to gun violence and he starts speaking out against gun violence. Guess what's going to happen? He's going to get replaced.
Yeah, but you know,
you think the NRA has that much clout? Because that's really what it comes down to.
It's not the NRA, man. It's the party.
I think that, well, the NRA is in cahoots with the Republican Conservative Party because the NRA donates a lot of money to these Republican candidates.
We're not even, it's like with that rap music shit that we were talking about, another rappers has died. We're not hitting it on the head properly because the issue is they already created an ecosystem around this. You can't just remove that ecosystem because of one thing. Like with one Republican, if his kids die, that had happened to all of them at once. So that environment is still there. You didn't remove the environment. All you did was create an anomaly within that environment. You get what I'm saying? Like
the thing that's crazy is I don't even think a lot of these guys actually believe in this shit. Like out of all the people who are saying the election was rigged, like how many of them actually believe it is?
A lot of them don't.
I'll say that I'm going to go out on a branch and say that a lot of them don't. But if I'm a Republican and I want to stay in power, I have to say that I believe this shit.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, you got to stay in line. Like you're saying it's the NRA. I'm saying the NRA is just one piece of the puzzle. Like it's an entire, like Peterson's saying, it's an entire ecosystem that supports this behavior. So if I see this mass shooting and I find it completely deplorable, and I'm like, yo, this shit is fucking sad. We have to do something. As somebody who has a Republican base, I can't speak out on this shit because the people who vote me into power are going to turn on me.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we're dealing with is an entire fucking monster.
Yeah, what they call it, systematic.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, they'll tell you that shit doesn't exist either, though.
This is a perfect example of like a whole thing that's spinning by itself. It's a gear that spins by itself without anybody helping.
Yeah,
it's on autopilot. So it's like, how do you combat it?
The way you combat it is in a way that people is not willing to combat it. You know what I'm saying? Like you make the sacrifices and you employ the change one step at a time. You know what I'm saying? You just keep, you know how like when you speak about something and somebody's like, oh, this shit is fucking annoying, why you keep talking about it? It's because I want to plant that seed and continue to water it and water and water and water and water until it finally grows into something that can create change. You know what I'm saying? Like, so with that, it's literally like, everybody don't have to be at the same page at the same time, but we have to start turning the pages of that book to finish reading the whole book eventually, right?
You're saying what do we do to combat it? Like, how many mass shootings have we heard about just in the past couple of months?
A lot.
How many innocent people have died?
A lot.
One
too many.
So if that's not enough, like what is? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what's even crazier? You know what's even crazier? The midterms is about to come up, and it's almost guaranteed that the House and the Senate are going to be surrendered to the Republican Party. So not only did we not get anything done now, we're not going to get anything done for at least another 4 years.
Right.
So it is what it is.
That's it. That's it, bro.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. But hey, we're closing in on our hour here. Is there any last thoughts, any last statements or stuff you guys want to talk about before we close it out here?
Nah, fuck that guy to kill them kids.
Fuck that guy, facts. Retweet. All right. Well, guys, it was a fucking pleasure, bro. Getting back to it. I love it. It's fun seeing you guys. I was telling my girl, yeah, it's therapy. I was telling my girl too, is like, I mean, like, you know, I don't see y'all that much. We talk in the group chat or whatever. So it's cool to like just like sit down and actually see y'all and talk with y'all about shit, you know. It's a good time. I fuck with it.
Handsome.
Nah. Warriors 30-piece the Celtics, man. That's crazy.
Yo, they destroyed them. They destroyed them. Fuck the Celtics.
Bro.
Warriors in 5. Nah. But all right, everybody. Appreciate you guys. Please let us know, comment, subscribe. Let us know what y'all think.
Tap in, bro.
Tap in. Facts. But we'll catch y'all on the next recording. All right. Y'all have a good one. Peace.